Hello pile number 1 and welcome to your reading. Thank you guys so much for being here today. We're going to take a look into what it is that people are realizing about you. But first of all, we're going to start off with what it is that you guys have recently realized about yourself, just so that you can identify if this reading is for you or not. So we have the rabbit and spider totem here. What this is talking about is your ability to create plenty of good things out of the goodness that is existing within you. So it's like, say for example, if you have talents, you've been learning how you can apply your talents, which is your goodness, in ways that expand more goodness in your life or capitalize on goodness. You could be making money from things like art, side jobs that are your loves and natural interests. This is also talking about how you have been learning that every choice has a cause and effect. So you guys have been learning the wisdom of a universal law and how it is that you can use that universal law in your everyday life to create better outcomes. This is also saying that you guys have been realizing your own fears or your own triggers. This could also be talking to you, realizing how it is that you've been avoiding your creative potential or your problem-solving skills that can create positive change in your immediate future. This is also talking about creativity. Both of these animal totems talk about creativity, but in two different ways. This is the ability to create what it is that you envision and taking control of your destiny by living intentionally, which leads to better living. So when you know better, you do better, and you consistently work on positive progress in this way. Because once again, you apply yourself better. The more that you learn about yourself and your capabilities, the more goodness you're able to contribute to the situations that are happening around you and the circumstances. This is talking about your ability to create life, give force and give intention. This is talking about your ability to create what it is that you wish to experience for yourself. So I say that you guys have been going down a lot of experience of learning what it means to master your reality and to take control of your future by intentional living, intentional choice making, intentional contribution, and presence, which is groundedness. Because if you're present, and you will access your own self-awareness, because it's within the present moment all is happening and all is in existence, which gives you insight or foresight to the future. And it also, being in the present, understands what has contributed to what you are living in, which taps you into the past. And I feel like you guys have been learning how to put order to these three aspects of your own personal lives, which has also been advancing your abilities to read the past, present, and future of others if you are into the same line of work or practice, such as divination, runes, cartomancy, anything that helps you to tap into esoteric understandings and knowledges or insights. So I also think you guys have been realizing that you are absolutely all it is that you need. This is learning about how to use your inner resources in the best positive ways to create the best positive effects and changes. You guys are also learning and realizing more about your potential, your power of persuasion, and what I also heard was your power of influence. You might find yourself attracting in a lot more opportunities that complement what you are naturally good at, and you're being called to co-create alongside of how life is manifesting for you. This is how I found myself repeating this a lot recently. Maybe this is just a common theme for the vibration of number 8. If you guys stick around, I'm going to be releasing a much more in-depth look into the vibrations of 8, which is governing this year, and also the dragon totem, which is an overseeing spirit. So I also feel here that you guys might feel tested or challenged, or you have felt this in the past month, Self-expression has been a little bit challenging. I want to say this is from, it's stemming from, for some of you, self-denial, keeping secrets, or intentionally lying to yourself, which in turn creates dishonesty in the energy around you, which further leads into things such as confusion, and illusions. And yeah, it's a lot harder to work backward from that pathway set if you are in that. The thing that I would advise you, if you're stuck in that pattern or cycle, is instantly, period, stop lying to yourself. Stop lying to people around you. Stop accepting lies outside of you. Stop consuming lies that don't align to your authentic version of self. Stop involving yourself in lies and illusions in whichever way that is. And as soon as you put a conscious effort or choice into that motion, you'll find your timeline shift instantly, and you'll start to perceive reflections that will encourage you outside of that alignment and into higher vibrations instantaneously. That's an amazing gift about being in low vibration, pile number 1. If you've realized yourself to be in low vibration often, it's much quicker if the intention is set correctly and the focus is in the right way. And what I mean by the right way, I mean the healthy way for you. So if your intentions and what you're consuming and everything that contributes to goodness isn't good, it will, in one way or another, infiltrate that goodness in one way or another, and you will perceive it, you know. So you guys have been realizing how it is that you can step into your fearlessness by understanding that you are all it is that you need, and you have all the inner resources that you need to be what you need to overcome life's challenges. You've been realizing that nothing can hold you back apart from your own judgment and perception. So you guys have been mastering the art of shifting the way it is that you choose to perceive the world. And you'll find that the attitude that you have towards the world will very much align very closely to the perception that you have of the world, which will lead you to multiple realizations. So yeah, you guys have been gaining a deeper insight into your capabilities, your potentials, your inner truth. Now is just the time to learn to have confidence in that truth that you are discovering. And the only way you're going to do that, pile number 1, is by putting what you're discovering into practice and testing through trial and error how true the truth is to you. So don't hold yourself back from testing out your capabilities of what you can build for yourself out of the resources you know of. And you'll find along the way, while you're building, you'll also rediscover other aspects of yourself, other untapped resources that you didn't know you had. And that will lead you to further abundance. The accumulation of goodness is built by you. And this is what you guys have been realizing. So let's go ahead and take a look at what your immediate company has been realizing about you. What have your immediate companies been realizing about you? We have Anunnaki. They've been realizing that you guys could have been dealing with a lot of drama or conflict, a lot of controlling people, and a lot of situations or circumstances that were kind of subconsciously holding you back. Some people have been realizing, especially those that are closest to you, that you might have been in a battle with your polarities within self. So what some might call the higher self, the light self, and what some might call the lower self, the shadow self. My throat chakra right now. Give me 2 seconds, guys. I'll be right back. Hey guys, sorry, I went and did a little bit of meditation on that throat chakra block just to see if I could remove it. So you guys might feel really challenged by the people around you. It's important that you assert your opinion regardless. Pile number 1. It's important that you stick up for yourself. And I don't know why this is important, but that's what I got from meditation. They didn't give me any specific examples. They just said, here you go, say this. So here I am, saying exactly that. Please stick up for yourself. Assert your opinions. Whether they're right or wrong, that's not the point. The way that you're going to build up confidence in speaking the truth is by starting to speak it. Okay, So what is it that the immediate connections are realizing about my beautiful viewers of pile number 1? So you guys, people around you are realizing that you're much more in touch with your feminine energy than what people first initially realized. So people are starting to realize that you guys have been presented with many different choices that you've probably had to have made within what love is, what it looks like. People are realizing that you've been very dedicated to the truth of your sensuality, which means the truth of yourself, your creativity, your emotions, how it is that you process, perceive, understand information within yourself, how it is that you creatively design whatever, like your thoughts, your actions, the way it is that you move is not strategic, but in accordance to your inner truth. And that's something that a lot of people around you who are immediate to you didn't realize about you prior to now, that you were going to dedicate yourself to your inner truth regardless of whether you display this outside of you or not. That will be the difference that they're realizing about you right now, pile number 1, is that you are embodying your truth now. You're not just living in accordance to it secretly with yourself. Now you're going to start to live in accordance of your inner truth by taking action to support that inner truth as well. And as a result, you'll start to see everything around you manifest in accordance to what is going to support you setting the foundations that will support the manifestation of what complements your truth. And this will come in the form of connections, opportunities, abundance, and also advancements this year. Okay, so let's go ahead and take a look at what your extended connections are realizing about you at this time. They're realizing that you guys are very intuitive and that you have an ability to see in between the lines. You see the issues with things, and you see the extreme possibilities of present situations. Like, for example, someone could bring to you an issue that they have and they'll explain it to you, and you'll be able to highlight the positives of it, the choices available, the options that they have. You don't really tell them what to do. You just help them to gain an awareness of where it is that they're at so that they can make a clear decision moving forward. You're not controlling, if anything. You allow your instinctual intellect to point out information that will help reveal mysteries to people. I don't think you can see this, but it says mysteries, reading between the lines, and intuition. You need to speak your intuition more, your instinctual intellect, what you intuitively know, what you've learned from experience, the wisdom it is that you hold. Speak from this authentic truth of yours. It's important for you because it's going to help you to rebalance your divine feminine energy. What it says, divine feminine energy, birthing and fertility. So what that talks about is you embodying your feminine energy. This year is going to be a big year about the true rise of the divine feminine, the internal truths that has been hidden beneath the surfaces, readjustments and reattunements, readvancements and reintroductions to hidden aspects of self that were undervalued, misunderstood, deemed as bad, and it's going to be transformed and rebirthed into something like potential. People are going to start to see the goodness within what has been deemed so bad in the past, and they're going to start to see how there's been a lot of badness present in things that we have deemed as good. So that's what's going to be motivating and driving your guys' shift of consciousness right now. And this is where you're going to see past the veil of duality, good versus bad. You're going to see what is and what is not going to work moving forward. That is what is helping you to see in between the lines, and this is what people outside of you in your extended world are realizing about you. You're very intuitive, you're very in flow, you're very transformative, you're a catalyst. You bring things into attention that other people do not take into account. People are realizing that you're very intellectual and that you're very advanced within your understandings of self and how self works with energy outside of us, or the universe and source. I would also say that people have realized that you are very what would be the word? You're very good at idealizing things, which grants you a lot of optimism, and this helps you to build towards the best possible outcomes, because you guys have a very creative force within yourself that is summons within you when you see a problem. Like you'll see your creative force at its most powerful when you're creating for a purpose or a meaning or a betterment. If you are just creating meaninglessly, it won't work, and you'll probably destroy it. So you're being asked to focus more on creating things that are meaningful to you, and this is how you're going to reintroduce your purpose, because what is meaningful to you is your purpose. You don't discover it. I mean, you accept it, and you'll find that your purpose isn't what you do, it's who you are. That's another repeating message that I think a lot of people are going to be discovering in the year of 2024, their untapped potentials and their divinity within self. Because if self is growing and continuously expanding and doing things for meaning within self, that means they're living in accordance with the evolution of positive progression, because they're consistently learning, you know. So yeah, what I see here is that you're going to be helping a lot of people, or what people have realized is that you do help a lot of people with distrust, tyrannical behavior, and being in survival instinct continuously, with number 17 and 20 being here. 20 reduces down to 2. This is talking about duality being used in infinite amount of ways that could be positive or negative, and you help people to understand the duality within their situations, which banishes uncertainty, and it helps heal trust foundations with self, so people would really have no reason to be guarded. If they're true within their self and they know and are aware of who it is that they are, they will naturally have confidence as a consequence, because when you know, nothing can move what you know if you know it to be true and it's supported with evidence. And that's kind of what you help people to gain: knowledge, insight, wisdom, evidence, everything that is needed to build a solid foundation of understanding. With reptilians, we have predator, survival, and tyrannical. You help people to build an understanding of what is a threat, and you help people to move out of like that mentality of building threats with things outside of them, so that they can shift outside of the survival instinct of the ego, and more so into the feminine aspects of acceptance. And that's not even really feminine, that's masculine and feminine. It's the duality of both coming in harmonized, which is acceptance. So yeah, you help people to face the reality of things and to see what is actually important. You remove distractions and you give direction. You help to rid people or rebuke fear as well, which helps to re-invoke true empowerment, and it grants the gift of fearlessness. So yeah, you guys are seen as very effective people in your world, and you're very much appreciated by the people around you as a very positive embodiment of change, progress. You're a student, but also a master to those who don't know how to be a student. You know what I'm saying? Which makes you the teacher and the student to the universe, or life itself, which puts you in alignment completely with your source, because you're in movement with how source is providing life for you, and you're making the best out of it in the ways that you know how. So I really do love that for you, pile number 1. Thank you so very much for stopping by. I hope this has come of positive service to you, has brought clarity, and yeah, I hope you guys had a fabulous New Year's at the time of recording. Otherwise, moving into the rest of the year, I hope you guys experience the absolute best. With all that being said, until next time, bye-bye. Hello, pile number 2, and welcome to your reading. Thank you guys so much for being here today. We're going to go ahead and take a look into what it is that you guys are realizing about yourself and what other people outside of you are realizing about you. So at the time of recording this, we've just entered into the new year, so happy new year, pile number 2. I hope you guys had a great time and you guys are looking forward to this year ahead. In the very near future, I'll be releasing a video that goes and looks or investigates more in depth the energies that will become available or most dominant this year. We've entered the year of the dragon totem that's overseeing the energy, and we're also being supported by the vibration of number 8, which can also be identified for those who study astrology or cosmology as the energy of Saturn. So moving into your guys' reading, guides, guardians, universe, energies in service of the highest and greatest good. Of those who have come to view pile number 2, I welcome you into this space and I ask that you please guide me with truth, clarity, wisdom. Please provide me the insight and knowledge necessary and grant me the ability to articulate your messages as accurately and as clearly as possible. Thank you so much. So I'm seeing a lot of very bright energy. I think you guys are coming out of a dark time and hope is being restored. I'm not gonna lie. Pile number 2, you're kind of at a transition phase where you're going to be presented with a choice of who or what you are going to choose to embody this next phase of life. So you're sitting at a middle point of something. It's not an indecision exactly. It's more like, what qualities are you going to implement moving forward? Are you going to still move forward being your old self, or are you going to move forward being the new version of yourself that you've discovered to yourself to be, and keep moving in that direction to understand the true potential that is becoming before you? Do you understand what I mean? Now, I see this a lot, and I actually saw this the other day from someone else, a poster on Facebook. And what that person had said, it was like, there's no such thing as the becoming, like you always just are. And yes, but no, because you can always be something without becoming it. Like, you can always say that you're something but not actually be that, you know what I'm saying? So for example, you could have someone who is completely ego inflated and they'll be like, I am God. And they will live that way forever without actually understanding what God is, what that takes, what that requires, what it means to be God-like. You know what I'm saying? And they don't live in that because it's a way of being that, yet they claim it, you know. Anyways, pile number 2. I'm going to get off that subject because that was going into a direction that's not really helpful to this reading. Let me put it this way. People are recognizing, or at least you have recognized within yourself, certain projections of ego, either within yourself or within people outside of you, and you're starting to understand how it is to control ego, direct ego, silence ego, humble ego, teach ego, and facilitate ego into directions. Like, you would be the types of people that I would say, what you're going to realize about yourself, that you have the ability to battle narcissists. You'll find that with this becoming focus, yes, you can say that you're something without knowing it, and then you can say you are something because you know it, you live it, you go through it, you've suffered it, you've outgrown it, you've healed it, so you know. And that's the becoming, because you've experienced yourself. That is how you become something. That is how you become confident in your knowing, is through living it and experiencing it. And I think you guys have come to realize the true gifts that have come outside of the experiences that you've gone through that have been especially dark. Like, yeah. So now I feel like you guys are going to come to a point where you're placed with a choice of, are you going to embody the becoming of yourself, the becoming of your best versions of self that you have yet to discover, or are you going to stay the same way and understand that you're going to produce the same results if you choose to stay the way that you've always been? And that's what Spirit, I guess, are trying to say and show me here. Okay, this could also say that you guys are coming into a re-empowerment of self, because you're starting to integrate your higher self, your lower self, your ego, and your presence, which is like your inner nature. with it, with the dragon totem coming out here, this is going along with the theme of this year, which I'll touch more on later in an extended video about the totem of the dragon. But for you guys, this is talking about, once again, you guys learning what it means to master instinctual awareness, which is intuition, and using that awareness and understanding of intuition or instinctual intellect to balance the ego's instructions. Because the ego's instructions, the main job of the ego is to protect the ego from repeating cycles of suffering, or if used in the opposite extreme, it is used to inflate. So wherever you fit in that area, you're going to start to replace ego with intuition. So you're going to find a lot more advancements, and you're going to tap much more deeper into the psyche to learn more about what is valuable to you, what needs healed, what has been neglected, and what needs to be enabled that has been disabled unfairly. And that's what you've been realizing about yourself, you know, pile number one. So what have your immediate connections been realizing about you? That you guys are releasing a lot of energy, for one, from your heart chakra. There's been a lot that you could have been in denial of within the past, and this is what you've been doing a lot of cleansing work around, because I heard it in my heart chakra like come up. So that's talking about you releasing a lot of traumatic attachments to the past that had influence over the version of self you saw yourself as before you discovered the potential of yourself that you know you can be moving into the future. So what people in your immediate connections have been realizing about you is that you have the ability to go the distance. You're someone who has a lot of resources within yourself, and when you put your mind on something, you have the ability to deliver yourself to what you say you're going to achieve and do. And this is what the people around you are realizing about you, that you're reliable. They also see that you are someone who can go without something for a long period of time. So I'd say that you're the types of people that don't mind dedicating yourself to a cause, and it doesn't matter how long that dedication needs to be, as long as you know you're not wasting your time and it's truthful to you. This is also saying that you guys could have gone a long time without doing something. Like, for example, you could have cleansed yourself from an old way of being that could have been really harmful to you, and people have seen how far you've come from an old version of self that you've already been, but you're recognizing yourself to want to experience something that is outside of what you've grown used to now. So you're wanting to point yourself in new directions. For example, some of you guys have been living a life that you've recognized isn't comfortable for you anymore, and you're wanting to go out on an exploration. Just know that this year you'll probably find yourself traveling. People are realizing that you have the ability to achieve whatever it is that you set your mind to. When you say you're going to do something, you do it, and it doesn't matter how long, you just do. You know what I'm saying? And I don't know, people really look up to you for this. What are people around pile number twos realizing about them? That you've survived a lot, that you've gone through a lot, you've had to release a lot of karma, with the reptilians being here and also the blue avians. This is talking about you learning the importance of certain traditions and certain insights and certain experiences. You've learned the importance of what it means to survive. So you've probably tapped into a lot of your primal instincts and also learned how to discipline them, with the reptilians being here. With the blue avians being here, this is saying that you've learned why you shouldn't do certain things in certain ways, and you have now become the person who has joined the side of warning others as to why they should not do certain things that they choose to do because of certain consequences, because of certain sufferings that people honestly don't want to go through, but don't take seriously until they find themselves in tragedies or harsh circumstances, or like really, I don't know, harsh disciplines, you know. So yeah, I see that you guys have definitely been the people to turn away from a lifestyle that you didn't want to be in, and you've risen above something in ways where you defied all odds that were against you, in whichever way you resonate with. Because I keep hearing someone saying, no thank you, like, I don't want to do that, I don't want to expose myself to that. Do you know how much work I put in to get away from that, and now you want to like invite me right back into it? No thanks. Like, that's what I feel your guys' energy being, and that's what I think a lot of people around you are starting to realize, like, that you are very firm in your ways for a reason, and what you've been doing is teaching people to respect that and why you do that, and the benefits of that, the philosophies behind it, the in-depth purposes. Like, at one stage I would say these people who were closest to you probably were like, I don't know why you're doing what you're doing, and perhaps they might have misjudged you or thrown like misaccusations or something, I don't know, but now they're realizing, like, no, I see what you're saying now, because they're starting to see the full results take place, or the security that comes from why you do what you do. They're seeing more evidence around them as well, which is transforming their ways of looking at you and understanding you, and also wanting to show up for you, pile number 2. So there are people around you who are also doing the necessary work within themselves to take accountability of how they could have hurt you, upset you, rejected you, or doubted you. I see you've done a lot of self-work, and that's what people around you are also realizing that are very close to you, you know. They see that you've undertaken a lot of your own independent research as well, your independent growth. You've worked to prove things, and you've worked to disprove things, and you've worked to just own who you are. And people see that. They also see how you've actually had to battle a lot of really negative things or people or very toxic circumstances. I see corrupted influences around you, people who are self-serving, obsessive addictions, people who are committed to the destruction of themselves and even just supporting the worst situations into being. That's why they make reckless decisions and poor movements, and they gave up, part number 2, where you didn't. And it's almost like, because of how you've changed your life around, changed yourself, grown yourself, learned, released karma, found new ways and better ways of being, and also exposed hidden secrets, people are realizing that there are better ways to do things, and they are the evil in life, like, that they blame the rest of the world for. So through your example, they are changing themselves, and as a result, they've learnt more about you. So what are your extended connections realizing about your pile number 2? That you have had to go through a lot. You've got a lot of responsibilities, but it's grown you a lot. You've put a lot of endings to ways of being that no longer worked, that a lot of people were committed to being. And you, once again, you defied all the odds. You're the type of you're not common to come across. Like, your life story, or you as a person, you're very unique, and your story is very unbelievable. It's very empowering, and it's very transformational, is what I just heard. So you're going to find yourself coming into new heights this year. That's what people in your extended connections are thinking about you, or get the impressions from you, that you have developed your intelligence so much that it's going to take you to new places or heights in your life this year. A lot of people see you as completing and achieving a lot of things and gaining a lot of wisdom from life lessons that will come in handy. People will see you as a very good advice giver, you know what I'm saying, or someone who might even look a little unapproachable on the outside, but once they get to know you, that you're full of magic and experience and insight and wisdom. You're full of a lot of treasures and beauty. Pile number 2, whether you believe this or not. You might think you're ugly, and if you are that person, no, you're not. I don't care how you look. It's not about how you look. It's really not. And I know it's easy for me to say that. But I've come from a place of being not so pleasant to look at. And I've come from not so pleasant sizes. So I know that beauty is not in how you look. It's in who you choose to be. Truly. And I think a lot of people outside of you and your close connections and extended connections have realized your true beauty, or are realizing. And it's teaching them what it means to value you more. So yeah, destiny, magic, and infinity. Yeah, you have a special connection to the universe, or untapped potential, or the goodness within others. And this taps people into the divinity of themselves, their magic, which is their uniqueness. You see goodness in people that they don't see within themselves, and you point that out a lot without seeing the beauty and goodness within you. And now it's your turn this year to see the goodness within you and receive the recognition that you deserve. Pile number 2. And that's really what I'm seeing here for you guys. There's going to be a lot of alchemy this year as well. So you're going to learn what it means to work with different sorts of energies in intentional ways that will lead you to the discovery of the birth of a newfound energy. So for example, mixing hope with optimism will give you a new energy altogether, or mixing hope with bravery will give you a different result. This is how you're going to start to see energy as qualities, and mixing these skills together to see the outcomes that they create. This is how you're going to be exploring your own manifestation abilities this year. And it's going to bring, you're going to probably have a bit of distrust within yourself when approaching these things, but don't worry too much, because you're going to be learning more about yourself through the life lessons that will be brought to you by intentional choice making. You know what I'm saying? So ask yourself the intentions behind the results that you want. Once you're clear with the intentions, you'll know the best actions to put in that will help support the highest ideal of the manifestation you're hoping for. That will help you to also feel safe and grounded and in awareness of what it is that you are doing, so you would have no reason for concern. Those are the messages that I have for you today, pile number 2. Thank you so much for stopping by. I hope this has come a positive service to you, and that you guys had the best possible start to the year. I also wish you the absolute best moving into the rest of 2024. So with all that being said, until next time, bye. Hello pile number 3, and welcome to your reading. Thank you guys so much for being here today. We're going to be taking a look into what it is that you guys have been realizing about yourself, what your immediate connections have been realizing, and then also take a look into what your extended connections have been realizing about you. What I keep hearing, like, as I am aligning with your guys' energy, is I really don't know what to do. That's what I keep hearing. Have you guys felt stagnated, or like you're lacking areas that provide adequate opportunities to help you to progress forward in the way that you're wanting to? If so, the advice here for you guys is to tap into the potential within inside of yourself. You have the ability to make what seems insignificant absolutely significant and progressive within your life. So you have all it is that you need to make the best out of what it is that you have already. You're undervaluing what's available to you without understanding that you have the ability to execute excellence with the options that are available to you already. So just reevaluate what's available to you and ask yourself how you can expand on the options that are available to you with the talents and skill sets it is that you have, match with the self-awareness and understandings that you have of your intellect, your creative abilities, and your ability to take action by just enacting. Once you can embody supporting that movement or that ideal or that structure, architect or approach, you'll start to see quite immediate results. Okay, so for the rest of you guys, what have you guys been realizing about yourself at this time? Guides, guardians, universe, energies, and service of the highest and greatest good of those who have come to view pile number 3. I welcome you into the space and ask that you please guide me with truth, clarity, wisdom, Please grant me the ability to articulate your messages as accurately and as clearly as possible. Okay, so the energy around you is quite mischievous, pile number 3. So the way that you'll be experiencing it, you guys might have realized about yourself, they're actually kind of funny. You're actually kind of funny, but it's in a very like dry sense of humor sort of way for some of you guys. Like you come across extremely funny to people outside of you, whether you know this or not. But people also see that you're a little, you could have realized within yourself that you could be mischievous. You can be a little sneaky, you can be a little cunning, you know, you can be a little persuasive, and that's okay. You're influential. People see you as very knowledgeable, very insightful. You're very good at collecting information, you see pile number 3, and that's what gives you this like this mysteriousness around you, which makes people feel like you guys could be a little mischievous yourself. But what you've been realizing the most is that you guys are very monogamous. You guys are very loyal. With the fox totem being here, you're very, very practical, and you're very clear with your intentions when people are clear with you. If people start to show signs of like untrustworthiness or like hidden intentions, hidden agendas, you guys turn that mischievousness on and you become observant of what's taking place around you. You pay more attention to the subconscious movements of people. It's almost like you guys psychoanalyze people, and you guys have been realizing this about yourself. You learn depths of others outside of you without them intentionally exposing them to you. This is you sensing out authenticity within people, which is clairsentience. You have the ability to empathize, understand, observe and embody and adjust and move to energy quite fluidly, and you'll find that this is because of your awareness of intellects. You have a healthy awareness of your instinctual intellect, your academic intellect. But you also have an understanding of like human nature as it is. You're very good at putting yourself in other people's shoes, you know, to understand where they're at. And you have very, very clear ways of creating understanding out of confusing situations. And this might be what you're realizing about yourself as well. Like, you guys are very adaptable, you're very fluid, you're very good at creating exactly what it is that you want in the best possible ways that don't harm people, even though they might be a little bit mischievous. You know what I'm saying? You're the type of people that will tell little white lies, but you're not going to tell lies that destroy people's lives. You know what I'm saying? You're cheeky, you can be funny, you can be very playful, and when you're surrounded by the people that support that innocence and that play within you, you're very humorous, and you get along with particular people that have particular morals. Part number 3, you know, you're gonna find a little bit of struggle with people who don't match your morality or your integrity. You're not. You can tolerate certain expressions of mischievousness, but you can't. You'll be very diseased around people who lack integrity or moral, and you'll find that. So you're also realizing about yourself that you're actually very compassionate and very alert within your surroundings. You're people who are very nurturing, and you're very good at understanding what situations need or what people need in order to create solutions. Your passion is actually quite productive, and you use it in very feminine ways. It's funny because you guys have a very balanced masculine energy with your feminine energy here, but they're both used in very practical and endearing ways, I just heard. So you're very good at navigating options. You really are, especially where people feel stuck. And this is because you spend the time and attention to detail that things need, because you understand that, like, all you need to do is pay attention to how something works and observe it and learn about it to understand it, to then direct it, change the course of it, fix it, alter it. And you're realizing this about yourself as well. And I'm thinking that this could be to do with like your advancements, your position in life, your status, even the way your connections are kind of happening right now. I don't know, or had been happening. Like, you guys have a very powerful force within you, and it's your compassion, it's your kindness. This is what is like the root or the seed of your healing abilities. You see what I'm saying? With the hummingbird coming out here, yeah, you guys are very courageous. This is what you're learning about yourself, that you're very determined and you're very independent. You love love, you have a hope for love, and you're someone who wishes to support beauty within people, within life, and within circumstances of life, within the future. You guys are very good at taking independent leadership as well in life. So I would say that you guys are very good at taking initiative, taking action where it's necessary, and learning from life itself and life circumstances, which puts you ahead naturally. People actually look up to you a lot, number 3, whether you know this or not. And I think you're going to start to realize this, at least over the next 30 days. So what are people in your immediate connections realizing about you, please? They're realizing that you guys have had to go through a lot to actually understand what you do and to put together what it is that you have. People know that you didn't get what you got easily. People feel like you had to go through a lot of steps, a lot of learning, a lot of failure, a lot of readjustments to be as stable as what you are and as developed or as established as what you are. So people don't take your attention for granted with 3 and 2 being here. You're actually very sought after, whether you know this or not. You're seen as very attractive with the number 32 being here, which reduces down to 5. This says that you could be experiencing romance in the near future, or people are saying that the relationship that you're in is very beautiful. And I think that they say that it complements you very well if you are in a relationship. But this talks about people realizing that you are in need of fun too. You deserve your time too, your own attention. You deserve your own investments. I think there's been a lot of people around you who have been over demanding of you and your time and your energy, and it's time to give back to yourself. And that's what they're realizing, that they could have been over demanding of you and probably overwhelming you a lot. And so yeah, I think they're trying to give you a little bit more space for you to work on yourself. Number 37, yeah, they're trying to give you space so that you can kind of sit with yourself and work on your own identity and work on what it is that you want to focus on, build comfort around yourself and all that. You know what I'm saying? Work on what makes you happy and makes you feel comfortable. What are people around you realizing about you the most? We have shadow, self-denial, projecting, and shame. People are realizing how they could have, this could go either way, so take it as it resonates. Pile number 3, that you've either been projecting your shadow self on other people, or that other people have been coming to you and projecting their shadow selves on you. And if you've found yourself feeling a little isolated or without company a lot, people are taking space away from you to work on themselves, and they've not like abandoned you. It's not that they've got a problem with you. It's just that they're seeing things within themselves that they know that they need to correct before they come towards you, quite literally, because they don't want to be this way around you. They want to fix their inner workings that wouldn't be healthy for you. So really, within their distance, they are still have your best interest at heart. Now, if you're the people who are projecting on the people around you, people are really understanding what you're in denial of and why you're doing what you're doing, and what needs to change or what needs to be healed, what needs to be fixed. People are understanding that you might even want to be setting out on a road to create change and betterment within your connections outside of you after making certain mistakes. So yeah, I also think that you guys are going to experience the polarity of this energy, and it will probably be in the second half of this month. So if you've had a really low start to the month, don't worry, by the second half of this month it's going to be the extreme opposite end. If you've been at a really high space, that at this time of the month, I'd say please live intentionally and be very, very aware of what you are doing in order to support the highest potential into the second half of the month. If you are not aware of what you are doing, what you are projecting into the world could become a detriment to supporting the best possible outcome in the second half of the month. So what this is saying is practice and awareness the most, and you'll take control of whatever is going to manifest as a result. Intentional living equals better living. You know what I'm saying? Because you know what you're contributing, which means you're aware of the consequences that will come from your actions. Alright, so what is your extended connections realizing about you, pile number 3? They're realizing that you guys are working on manifesting your highest ideals, with this card being here, the Andromedans. They're realizing that you guys are powerful manifestors. Once you set your mind on something, you're very good at achieving it. You don't care if you have to set out alone to get it, and you don't care who believes in you or who doesn't. As long as you can envision it and you believe in it and you have the energy to invest yourself in it and commit to it, it will come to be regardless of how long it takes. So people see you with very strong willpower, a very strong life vitality, very creative mind and creative force. They see you as holding a lot of potential, and they see you as someone who has a lot of secrets within yourself about the hidden realms. They also see you as someone who has had to deal with a lot of corruption, and they see you as someone who is wanting to move away from cult behavior. Do you understand what I'm saying? So you could have been someone who was once a part of a lot of different communities and have rid yourself of that, or have cleansed yourself of that. So they see you moving away from toxic sources, and wanting to build yourself back up into an honest reflection in life. One that complements you, one that is true to you, and one that aligns with the truth of you. And that's what people extended are realizing. What people realize about my pile number 3? They've realized that you are in connection with angelic beings and that you call on them for help a lot of the time. They have realized that you're a very strong manifester and that you have a lot of help within the subtle realms. They've realized that you're not who they made you out to be, and they feel kind of bad, to be honest, pile number 3. Like, they really do. They see how you might have placed other people on pedestals, and as a result it made them underlook you, like undervalue you. I heard Doja Cat. Didn't even know it. Don't you say so? Go and look into Say So by Doja. I don't know why, but the lyrics in that song might either pick up your vibration and help you shift your energy, or there might be insight through the lyrics that will help you to reflect deeper on what is going on here. People are realizing a lot about you, that you are here with a purpose, that you have the ability to connect with very divine beings. And a lot of people who do you wrong have realized how quickly karma comes to hit them when they don't do right by you, and you have given them nothing but genuinity in every which way, shape and form. People don't understand the whole saying about be wary of how you treat people because you don't know who they are in the spiritual world is very true. Because what happens is, depending on how genuine people are, that is the currency in spirit, genuinity. The more genuine you are with someone else and the less ingenuous they are, the quicker karma will hit them. Because genuinity is a protector. Though you might be emotionally hurt by other people because of their inability to meet you where you're at, it just shows you that they've still got a lot of growing to do, and that there are other people out there who will be more alike to you. So it really just provides a space available for those who are better for you and that you are better for. You know what I'm saying? So if you've been attached to someone who hurt you in the past, I see here a lot of forgiveness, and I see a lot of forward movement and progression. I see a lot of people respecting you once again and giving you the recognition that you need. Just know that there's going to be a lot of quick, fast-paced change and miraculous aid that you didn't really expect. So if you've been struggling with things, don't worry about it. You haven't been abandoned. If anything, Spirit are going to come in to help you, because divine guidance and higher knowing came out here. So you're going to have the guidance it is that you need when you need it. This could come through people or repeating messages or your own, inner work, your own connections with Spirit. There's nothing here to worry about. All you need to focus on is staying your authentic self and dedicating that to that, and devoting to the truth of who it is that you are. And that is how you'll stay in connection with your divine guidance. And that's what people have realized about you. You're not a phony. And they did everything that they could to discredit you, and you defied them. So good. We love that. So what you're being advised to do is continue to pray moving forward. If you don't resonate with the words pray, the other thing you can do is set intentions. The more you pray or set intentions, the more prepared you're going to feel for the immediate future. And you're going to find that the more you affirm affirmations within your prayers or within your intention setting, the more you are going to feel empowered by what it is that you are setting, more focused, more on a set pathway, with less distractions and less intervene. What is the word? People who come to intervene, or situations that just intervene with progress. So yeah, your guides are asking you to kind of incorporate it more into your sacred practices, or into meditation, or into your spiritual practices, and then you'll find yourself really propelling forward, with the number 39 being here. That reduces down to number 12, and 12 is all about new beginnings that have been set in course by your own intentional choices. With 3 and 9 being here, this is you leading yourself to fulfillment through embodiment of your authentic truth, and living in accordance with honoring that, which then supports that into being outside of you. Yes, so those are the messages that I have for you today. I hope this has come in positive service, and that you guys had the best start to the year. But pile number 3, with all that being said, thank you so much, and until next time.